Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we are going to learn how to use decorators in Javascript. So in the simple sense, if I say decorators are basically a wrapper function that are wrapped around a function or a class method. Okay. So they're basically used to enhance the functionality of the particular method without changing the internal body or the internal logic of the method. So now I'm going to show you a very basic example of how it works. So here you can see that there are two functions. One is a mark student as passed out, and another function student. And below that what we are doing is we are calling mark student as passed out function and passing uh, student. Basically, this function returns the object because we are calling the calling basically we are calling the student function and it returns the object. Okay? So the output written by the student is modified by the method by the function mark student as passed. So basically it adds the property is passed or true to the object and returns the object. So here what we can do is we can access that particular object from the student info which I have assigned to this variable. So now if I run this file, you can see that we have a property is password true. So now this is just a simple example of decorators. So basically, decorators what they do is they take a function and then they modify the function and return a function. Here we are doing the same thing, but here what we are doing is we are passing the output of the function and we are modifying the output written by the student function. This modification is done by another function which is called as mark student is password. So now I will also take you to another example. Like we can instead of using this, we can also use higher order function. So in our next example, we have two functions. The first one is a print function, which takes function as a parameter and returns another function. The next function is say hello function, which simply returns string hello. So here what we are doing is below is we are actually passing the object. So before this the first one what we did was we returned the output of the function, but here we are actually passing the function object. The function object is called and the output of the function is actually modified. So here you can see there is just a hello and we are adding JavaScript at the end here. So now this actually the print function returns another function, and if you want the here you can use this function like this also. You can just call this as a function, and now if I run this, you can it prints hello JavaScript. So basically this print function is called as higher order function. The reason why it is called is the higher order function, they take a function as a parameter and return another function. The same thing it is doing here. So now, what the decorator does, the decorator also does the same thing. Basically, it wraps around the function and it adds some functionality to the function or the class descriptors, and then it returns it. So we can use instead of using the decorators, we say that we can use higher order functions. But the thing with higher order functions is that you can use it on a normal function, but it is not possible to use it on a or it makes things complicated when you try to use it on a method. So for that here is the example of using a decorator. So to use a decorator, the first thing you have to know that the decorator is actually not supported in JavaScript or any browser yet because it is still in an experimental phase. So you need to wait for in future you might get approved. But if you want to work and learn decorators, then what you can use you have to just go to jsfiddle.net and here at the top select language as Babel plus JSX. So now you will be able to use uh, decorators here. So here I'm going to create a simple function, a simple example of a decorator. I'm going to create class first, class employee. So and for employee, there is a timing, like when they come, time in and time out. So I need to specify the property. So here what I'll use, I'll specify work earnings. Okay. So now this is basically a class decorator, and now we need to create a function for this. So create at the top here. Okay. So now what this does is this basically takes a this takes a parameter, this target. The target is basically the class. You can just call it as class also. And now for this class, I'm going to add a property which work hours 10 p.m. to 6 p.m. Okay. So now if you want, if for all the employees the work hour will be same. Okay, the normal work hours will be the same for all the employees. So now if you want to access the work hours property from the employee class, then what you need to do is you can just access it as an just by using class one directly from the class using employee dot work hours. So I'll run this. So you can see that 10 a.m. 6 p.m. So now what we do is we will try to pass parameters within this decorator. For example, I will pass 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The office will be working times. So here what we need to do is here this we need to remove this and add up a value, and this will basically become another function, and here a parameter will be a class, and we can modify within this function. Just assign the value to this. So now if I run this code, you can see that it displays 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So now the decorators can be used in two ways. The first is you can use it on the top of class. Okay. So the second way you can also use it on methods within the class also. So now I will show you how you can use decorators within the top of class methods. So within this employee, I'll create a constructor which has name and salary. So I'll just assign this to class property. So now below this there is also called a method to set the salary. So here set salary. It takes a salary and then it sets to the property. Basically this acts as so it sets the value to the salary. So now here I'll create an object. Let's comment this. So the name of the employee is Dan. The salary is around 50,000. So what I can do is if I'll set the salary here, I can update it. Salary 500. And I'll print the salary print. So now the salary it must is 500. So I'll run the code. So let's print it and sorry. So here you can see it is 500. So now the thing with the JavaScript is that you can actually override the method outside the class also. So let me show you that salary. So this is a function. If salary has a parameter, then here I can modify salary as 0. Okay, so now I can modify my salary to 0. So what I can do is, if I run this, you can see that it is displaying 0 here. Let me run again. It is displaying 0 here. Even though after this we have passed 500, it is still displaying 0. So now we need to stop this from overriding that. So we'll create a decorator for that. So for that we'll create another decorator called immutable. So this decorator has three parameters. First is the target, which is the class, and then the key is the method name, and here is the descriptor of the method. So now what we need to use, in the descriptor there is an option where we can specify writable as false. We will just override that to writable false, so that it won't be able to override it, and then return descriptor. So we'll apply this immutable decorator over the set salary method. So now if I run this code, it will display me 500. You can see it will display me 500. So this was all about JavaScript decorators. If you have any questions, just type in the comments below, and I will surely answer this. And if you like my channel, do consider subscribing it. Thank you.